Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Dr. Steve Finn. Steve Finn from Dr. Finn's Games, and we're talking spicy hot games. Although Thomas says Dr. Finn keeps sending me games as well. He just charged me for them. Hey, you know what, Tom? Thomas, that's how he stays in business.
I usually don't send it unless he pays first. So.
Right, you got to pay. We're talking spicy hot games, and one of the ones I wanted to talk to you about is a game that Tim sent me from Thunderworks Games. Lockup. It's in the role player universe. Now you're familiar, I'm sure, with the role player universe.
I have played role player.
Okay.
I have not played Lockup.
Okay, so forget what you know about role player. It's the universe. It's the same artwork. It's the same, story and the same type of place, but the game is not the same. Right. As you can see, unlike role player, it's got this big giant board. Yeah. There's an argument over the internet. Is it a worker placement game? Is it a bidding game? I think it's kind of a meld between the two, but basically you've got those spots on the board, the green, the blue, the yellow, and the red, and the orange.
Yeah.
And the gray and the purple. Though, except for the purple one, you're going to be placing out workers with different powers on them. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can put some of them secret. That's the twist in the game. You can put some of them face down. 2 in a 3-4-5 player game. 3 in a 2-player game. So that little secret bidding thing. That's one that you like. These are the workers that you have. Right. If you're the blue goblins, goblins, I think. You'll have. By the way, you're a music fan, right?
By what?
Settle a bet.
Do I like music?
Yeah.
No. I can't stand it.
You just like white noise in the background. So settle a bet. Are the top 3? Did they model them after Green Day? Carlos is convinced that that's the 3 people from Green Day. I'm not sure.
The top guy, I know the music of Green Day, but I don't know what they look like, but that's what I imagine that they would look like. I know the guy, the lead singer doesn't have big hair like that. Yeah, I don't know about the other 2.
I don't know.
And that nose looks familiar too.
It looks familiar. All right. So out there on those worker placement boards, you're going to be placing those workers secretly. You can spend as much as you want or as little as you want in each space. But once you go into space, that's your only bid. Okay.
Right.
And each of those spaces are going to do something a little bit different. So you've got the left side spaces there. Those are going to give you resources. The greens, the blues, and the silvers. There's something in there, scrap and potions and something else. The red one is going to give you power tokens, which means one of your workers, he actually grows during the game. He or she will get more powerful the more red cubes you get. So and it also grabs the start player. And by the way, start player token breaks all ties. So it becomes very important because there's lots of ties in this game. Then the other 3 spots, or the one at the top is just giving you something, an extra resource. But the other 3 spots are where the game shines. You're going to take those workers. One of them is going to get you these items. Items not only score you points, but they also give you secret little benefits there at the top left. That could be more power cubes, getting rid of suspicion. Hey, if you're locked up and you're trying to get all this contraband, the guards are going to eventually notice, right? So when you go and you talk to certain goons, there's going to be suspicion by grabbing that stuff. And whoever gets too much suspicion is going to lose points anytime there's a raid. So we're trying not to get suspicion, but we're trying to get these cool things. There's the goons I was talking about. These are also going to get you points. I don't want to mention a certain game that a certain designer showed me where you collect sets as you're walking through something. You know the game I'm talking about, Stephen? Similar here. You're collecting dwarves to try to get lots of points. You're collecting bandits to try to get points. Some of them actually match up to each other, like the dwarves. You want to get 7 dwarves, right?
Okay.
That was kind of a cool inside joke there. But this is your game board. That's where you're keeping the resources at the top. There's that power that you have. And, there's 5 different players in it. It's got all this cool artwork. Lockup. Here's the thing that you have to understand about Lockup. And that's where I love the game, but I can't recommend it for everybody. I'll recommend it for almost everybody. But if you don't like player interaction, those spots on the board, when you're placing things down, upside down, when you're playing cards out of the library that steal resources or move you ahead of the line or do things like that, there's a lot of player interaction in this game. It's Alex Goldsmith played it with me last night, and he said it's one of the meanest Euros he's ever played. So
I don't know if it's right. Can I?
What's that?
Is there ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, is it player interaction or is it take that? Because to me, that's different. You can have a lot of player interaction without it necessarily being really mean, or can it? Actually, that's an interesting question I just raised.
It's a little, but yeah, interesting design philosophy, right? It's a little of both. There's a little bit of, passive aggressive because I see that Steve's got a 3 there. I'm going to secretly put a 4 behind him, and he doesn't know that, right? Or I bluff him and I put something face down, and he doesn't know I'm just putting a 2, and he thinks I really want it. So indirectly, there's also some limited player interaction because of those library cards. When you get those purple cards, some of them will increase things for you, which is interact, or it directly does something. It steals the start player token from Steve Finn, or it steals power cubes from Verla. So yeah, there's some direct player interaction, but I think the meanness is the library cards are limited because you can only get a few of them. The meanness comes in when you're playing those characters down, and you know that you've got the tie and your opponent is just going all in and they think they've won it and they have no idea that you have just crushed them. So, but what a game that takes, 60 minutes to 70 minutes, you're not investing a 2 or 3 hour game or a 6 hour game like Twilight Imperium. Heck, we played this game back to back one night. So, it plays really breezy and really quick. As long as it's breezy and quick like that, I don't mind a little bit of meanness. In fact, let's face it, it's part of some games. The fun is being a little bit mean to each other, right? As long as it's justified.
Yeah. I avoid games like that generally, unless you're mean to everybody. I don't like games in which you pick on where you can be mean to one person. So if the cards this affects everybody negatively, then I like that. Now, if you happen to be in the same region as someone, and because of the circumstance, you're targeting them. But yeah, I'm not a fan at all of games where you can pick one person and target them. Like steal a gem from whatever player you want. I hate that. Can't stand it.
Yep. So this one eliminates most of that stuff. It's directly related to you getting the benefit, not I'm just going to sabotage Steve because it doesn't make sense. Because of the way the points are working and everybody's collecting, I guess you could math it out if you really want to. But you're talking about 70 to 120 points. It's hard to math out every single little situation. So at least in all the games I've played, every time we've been mean to each other, it's limited. It's like, I really need this space. So Steve, I'm knocking you out. More like a Carson City than what you're describing, where you're going directly for that space. You're not just playing Kingmaker and saying, oh, I don't want Steve to win, so I'm going to do this to him. Everybody's still in it to the end. In every round, you still feel like, oh, man, if I get one more card, I'm shooting right up to the top. So I don't see that happening in this game. I don't think it's got that level of mean. The meanness comes in, oh, man, you put in all this effort in this one little burst. It's not like, oh, I've been working on it all game. This one little burst and somebody punctures your balloon. If you don't mind puncturing other people's balloons, I think this game is a good fit. But it flew under the radar. I mean, this is a really well-designed, really solid game by Stan Kordonskiy. And kudos to Thunderworks. I really enjoyed it. So, but again, I'm not recommending it to people that will get butthurt about too much player interaction.
How old is this game?
Just came out last year.
Oh, last year. All
right. So it just it came out at the same time as Cartographers. And I think that Cartographers was such a hit that this one kind of just didn't get that publicity. So I finally got a chance to play it, and I really liked it.